this day. Not only this day, but what you've already done for us in the past and what you have prepared for us in the future. Now I pray your blessings over this meeting and the Board of Supervisors and officers that are here, that you give them the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding to conduct the business that you lay before in the affairs of this county and the residents of this county, understanding they're faithful stewards over your blessings that you shower them. And so we trust and believe that they'll do what is best in the interest of all, and we give them the wisdom and understanding. And for those that are less fortunate, we lift up a special prayer and pray that you bless them in a special way. This we do ask and pray in Jesus' name.
Amen. All right. You have any bids this morning? No. Okay. Water service fee this morning? Morning, Mr. President, board members. It's an honor to be able to recognize these people with the number of years that they have dedicated to the county. And the first one we have is from County Court, which is Mary Rogers. She has 25 years of service. But she's unable to be here today because she's in New York City. So I'll be sure that we get this to her. The next one we have is from EOC, Joseph L. Perkins. He has 10 years of service. Somebody else, Mr. Perkins? Jimmy, want to come with Director Lewis? Just want to say thank you for the number of years that you give to the county.
Thank you for your service.
Next we have is from Justice Court. Cedric Coates, Cheryl J. Keeler. Ms. Wood, would you like to come up? Mr. Coates, say thank you. Thank you for the number of years you dedicated to the county for 5 years. And Ms. Keller, okay. Ms. Wood.
Thank you. And to the board, I just want to say thank you for recognizing 2 of these extraordinary employees in Hinds County Justice Court. And I always tell them, what they do for the public is a reflection of Hinds County. And I can say, when you stand attached to the Justice Court, I think you're ready for the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We have Public Works, we have 5. Public Works, Alfred P. Benson, 15 years of service. Otha Hubbard, Jr., 15 years of service. Mildred L. Chapman, 10 years of service. Bobby Lee Washington, Sr., 5 years of service. Paul S. Turner, 5 years of service. Those are from the Public Works, and I'll be sure that it's privilege of their education. I feel Mr. Felix has walked in that all of those are Public Works employees, so we will have him to give our thanks to all those employees. Okay. Next item on the agenda is we have it. Well, that's okay. Next is our minutes.
Good morning. Today we have for your approval the minutes of July 5th, 2011 for your approval.
Okay, what's favorable?
So.
It's been moved.
Second.
Second discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion is carried. Okay, claims.
Good morning.
Morning.
First item is I have an interfund advance to be repaid from the general fund to the Violence Against Women grant in the amount of $10,000.
Okay.
from the general fund in the amount of $10,000.
Okay, please, board.
So
It's been moved. Proper second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
Another interfund advance is needed for payroll, advancing to the JAG recovery grant from the general fund in the amount of $5,000.
Please, board.
So
It's been moved. Proper second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
An interfund advance to provide for payroll to the JAG/JET grant from the general fund in the amount of $15,000.
Please, board.
So
It's been moved. Proper second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
An interfund advance to the Byron Clinton Carter Fund from the Series 2007 GO funds in the amount of $130,000.
Okay, please, board.
so
Been moved. Proper second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
An interfund transfer to the Juvenile Justice Accountability Grant from the general fund in the amount of $493.
Okay, please, board.
so
Been moved. Proper second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
Have an interfund transfer to the Rural Aging Grant from the general fund in the amount of $762.17.
Okay, please, board.
so
Been moved. Proper second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
We have a special claim today for Dana L. Price in the amount of $2,775 for legal assistance to court attorney.
Please, board.
so moved.
Second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
On our regular
She did.
On our regular claims, we have claims number 5008 through 5010 are the utilities for the Mississippi Valley Title Building.
Okay, please, board.
So moved.
It's been moved. Proper second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
We have regular claim number 5110, it's to Buffington Mobile Homes. We would like to approve this pending advice from the acquisition team regarding IRS regulations.
Where is that?
It's for right-of-way acquisition for the Byron Clinton corridor.
Oh, okay.
This is one of those parcels that we have already approved purchasing, and this person has to be moved.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay. Clerk, please, board.
So
It's been moved. Proper second.
Who's that?
And you said pending what?
We are waiting to hear from the IRS regulations from the acquisition team.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
On our regular claims, we have three that exceed $100,000. Claim number 5048 to AT&T in the amount of $175,482.46. Claim number 5049 to Hinds Behavioral Health Services in the amount of $150,000. And claim number 5065 to the Jackson Hinds Library in the amount of $122,178.
Okay. Please, board.
so
It's been moved. Second. Proper second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
And finally, we have regular claims, the regular claims docket. Those are claims number 5002 through 5211.
Okay. What's that on? Well, that's.
Those
the
two-
five
Those are our
ways,
regular
510.
claims. Sir?
Okay, let's play it, vote.
So moved.
It's been moved, second discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
Thanks for the approval. For the order.
And we are asking for approval on the order approving the minutes for the claims.
Okay, let's play it, vote.
So moved.
Been moved, second discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Okay. Karen?
I prefer that you come back to my two items, the individuals that are on the agenda, rather, will not be here tonight.
Okay, my item, we have Mr. Sheila, you're going to present that with the demonstration of green processing, paving product. Well, I can just say that we have a paving project, a green project that is to be done. It's called a green project, and what we hope to do is some area of Terry Road is to be considered somewhere around below Terry. And we are asking that the board approve this demonstration project to go on. And we hope that it's a good project. Like I said again, it's a green project, and we hope that this will be kind of a catalyst to move into some areas of green in the paving arena. Is there any other thing that I left out?
You might want to add that it's no charge to the county to come by doing it. All we need to provide is traffic control.
Okay. And I so move that we accept that demonstration green project. It's been moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and proper second discussion.
I have a question, Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
This goes to Mr. Prettis. Is this the project that is going to decrease the amount of milling that needs to be done, or where they actually reuse the amount of the original surface,
Right. They
recycle the
original.
asphalt
Put it back down after they add some emulsions and additives.
in the same process?
Right.
Okay. All right.
Okay. They moved, proper second discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Okay. Ms. Brown?
Let me just ask for a call. Are they going to do that any other place other than that one particular place, or and that you know of?
As far as I know, that's the only location that they've mentioned to me.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, we're going to begin corner. There's a question that we have two unclaimed remain with this to be made. Okay. What's the pleasure?
So,
Been moved. Second discussion. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
Mr. Blake Wallace, Director of Hamilton County Economic Development Authority. Good morning, everyone. We have three items on the agenda today. The first two are reimbursements for work on our site planning projects at Sonny McDonald and the Aerotech Park. The first is for $377.50 to WIMS for engineering environmental mitigation services.
Okay. Please, Board. Remove.
Second.
Proper second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
The second is in the amount of $23,684 for work at the Aerotech Park in geotechnical engineering, also to WIMS LLC, and that is the solar borings that we've had to do out at the park.
Okay. Let's play Board. It's been moved.
Second.
Proper second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. How is that coming?
That's
I know we have reimbursement, but how is it really?
Sonny McDonald, all we're waiting on now is for the Corps of Engineers to get time to come out to the park and approve the stormwater runoff plan and everything that we've designed. And when they do that, they'll give us our permit to actually start being able to do the site work out there.
What kind of time are you talking about?
But this, with the flooding and everything they've had, they can't tell us when they're going to come and give us that permit. We hope it's within the next 30 days. We think it would have already happened if it hadn't been for all the flooding and everything that took place. So that's the last thing, and we got a couple of projects working out there too, so we're pretty anxious to get it done, and so are the clients that are looking at the park. Out at the Aerotech Park, that's going to be a little longer. We've got the soil borings done, so now we're going to have to take those. We've done some preliminary evaluation on cutting down the hills and things out there. And there are some that we will probably have to leave out there. We won't get as much property to use, but if we cut it down too far, we're going to have to dig out a lot of bad soil and then haul in soil to replace it. So we're looking at those numbers right now to determine exactly how far we need to cut and things like that out of the Aerotech Park.
In the boring, that's what determines what has.
Yes, that log goes all the way down to the depths that we bored, and we can see the types of material and everything's there.
And we did, yes, we played.
You're right, that's what we want to avoid at all costs, and we do have a little bit of it out there. But not as much as we might have thought. Really just a couple of places where it would be a problem if we took it off.
Okay.
Okay, the third item is an update on Phase 2 communications. We've got the work back from Interact, which points out the discrepancies between MSAG and our data. And actually, what they've been doing is the entire county, including the cities and municipalities. So actually, the number of discrepancies, only it looks like about 15% of them pertain to actually what the county is supposed to be keeping up with. So what we've got to do is coordinate the rest of those, or I'm assuming you would want us to coordinate with all the municipalities and give them the portions that are in their district so that they can utilize that to update their streets and center lines and things as well. So I'm not exactly sure what the timeline is for Kenny to get all of the updates for the counties, because some of the municipalities he will still do. Byron, Clinton, and Jackson have their own dispatch, so we'll pass on the information to them, and they would do their own corrections. However, for the rest of the municipalities that don't have dispatch, of course, that comes under the county system. But Kenny will still have to coordinate with those cities to determine, they'll need to let him know which correction needs to be made on their streets and things. So there's going to be a little bit of coordination needed to finish out this portion of the work. And I don't have any idea right now what that timeline would be, but at least now we know what we're working with. And we've we had Interact sort them all out by ESN. That way we can easily determine what municipality is supposed to have and get that information to them and let them work from there. So,
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Does every municipality now have their own ESN where they can actually divide this out or give this back to the phone company, or are you working with the phone company to actually do that, or how are you working
well,
that?
we will be. We just got the spreadsheets and everything back. When they first sent it to us, they just sent us very basic data, a Word document, and it wasn't sorted by anything. So I went back and asked them to sort that by the ESN. So yes, they each have an ESN, and we can easily assign those ESNs out to the municipalities that govern that and get them to make corrections and then get it back to us.
So the time frame that we're looking at is going to be the time frame that it takes for Kenny to get them put in, or for the county, and you're going to just leave the cities up to the individual cities up to themselves whether to do it?
Well, Clinton, Jackson, and Byron would have to do theirs. Now, the others have to come back to Kenny with their corrections, and then he would put it in our system.
Okay, I got you.
Because they're on our system. It's only those three municipalities.
Which means that, we gotta have their, two in order to put it in,
Right.
for it to be
Right.
countywide.
Yeah, Kenny, well, yeah, if you're gonna have countywide dispatch. Now, we would like, even though these three cities have their own dispatch, when they make these corrections, we certainly want it coming back to us so that it can go into the GIS system. Because that's what we're gonna use to update the GIS system and have all the proper information in there. So yes, we definitely want those back.
But still no time frame.
Well, I don't know about what Byron, Clinton, and Jackson would do, or how many mistakes each one has. We know there's a significant number inside the city of Jackson. The rest of the county, Kenny can start working on the corrections that need to be made that are outside any municipality, just out in the county. And then we can distribute the list to the cities, but we need to also transfer with that enough information from them so that they know, what it is that we're looking for, and they can make those corrections. And if they need any help, they can call Kenny and his group.
Will you, Mr. Lewis, will you have Kenny to report, to give us some reports on that as to exactly where, especially some of those, what the communication is, where some of those towns are, cities are?
Yes, sir, we will do that. And also, just, I want the board to be aware that Mr. Smith, he got a surgery for tomorrow, so it'll probably be another week before he can start on it, because he had surgery on his shoulder. So just to let you know that it will be another week before he basically will probably get started on that, but we will give you an update.
But I imagine he's been communicating.
Oh, yeah, we've had a meeting with Mr. Wallace, and we've got it sorted out what needs to be done and everything. So and basically, that's part of this report today.
Okay.
Yeah, and we haven't had the sorted list very long. Like I said, the first time they sent it, it was just everything. And I think I got the sorted list maybe last Thursday. So Kenny's already went through them, and I checked with him this morning. He said the sorted list looks good, and now he's communicating with Interact so that we can determine exactly what needs to be done as far as the corrections, and then we would start that work.
Okay. Good. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have no personnel matters. Mr. Clarence Williams, Director of Human Capital Development.
Well, Mr. President, members of the board, I have one item, and it's a request to accept the grant in the amount of $14,438.41 awarded to the Hinds County Sheriff's Department from the Mississippi Department of Public Safety, Division of Public Safety Planning, for continuation of the Mississippi Style Violence Against Women program.
Okay.
So,
Been moved.
Second.
Proper second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
We have the sheriff department person clerk, and I believe Ms. Natasha Martin.
Good morning, Mr. President, fellow board members. We are on receipt of several invoices today from BFI Little Dixie Landfill for services rendered. Each invoice has an amount in excess of each issued purchase orders. The board is requested to reject payment. These overages in the amount of $3,106.42 and approved by its permission to proceed with the payment process to the circuit court. This item is presented for your approval.
Okay, please, board.
So,
Been moved. Proper second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
why is the amount in excess of what should have been charged?
Well, it went over for the debris removal. It went over the actual purchase orders. We paid some on these invoices, but these are just the overages that they picked up in excess from what they previously did.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
We have Ms. Lily Woods, budget and finance coordinator.
Good morning, President Smith and members of the board. Today, I would like your approval of the budget amendments. These amendments represent department as to transfer funds based on the explanations provided with each amendment in accordance with GASB 34. There are no additional amendments that impact the general fund unappropriated surplus.
Okay. All in favor, vote.
So,
It's been moved.
Second.
Proper second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next item we have Ms. Linda Robinson. As County Department of Human Services.
Good morning, Mr. President, and board members. Mr. Miller has taken some action this morning, so I'm going to represent him. And you can see the item on the agenda that the Mississippi Department of Human Services is potentially going to set up a call center, a pilot call center at the Bolton branch office. And as stated in the agenda, this will be at no cost to the county. You know, what they're trying to do. Mr. Miller, did you all, I don't know if you all got a letter, copy of the letter that was sent to Ms. Davis by Mr. Miller. Okay, in this letter, Mr. Miller was stating that what the Department of Economic Assistance is trying to do, they have proposed to use the Hinds Bolton office as a pilot project area to determine if a centralized customer call center would help meet the standard goals across the state of Mississippi. And as I stated, this would be of no cost to the county. With me this morning, I have Mr. Chris Christmas. He's the Director of Administrative Services with the Mississippi Department of Human Services. And the board is actually in agreement to it. They will install the specialized telephone system at the Bolton branch office to function as a customer call center as stated. Now, in Mr. Miller in the letter, he stated that this that we will continue to see clients concerning the SNAP and temporary assistance program, and that would include a waiver. And what this is trying to do, instead of clients, which clients can still, they would be able to come in if needed, but what they're trying to do is handle a lot of this over the telephone. Now, like I said, I don't know anything about the technology. That's why I got Mr. Christmas here this morning. What can I explain to Mr. Christmas how?
Well, we're going to work with ITS, who can provide telephone services through the state.
Would you say your name just for the record?
Christmas, just like the holiday. You know, they will install the equipment at no charge to the state or county. Now, all the line charges, the state will pay for, because this is a pilot. We want to evaluate it to see how it works. We plan to install 12 workstations. I think there's like 8 to 10 employees there now.
Right, it's 10.
They will remain there. We plan to use the same employees. You know, one of the problems we're having is trying to scale this. You know, we have no idea about the volume or what it's going to take. So, you know, I'm putting 12 there, so we need to put 2 more people quickly there, you know, to handle the volume we can. And this system is very expandable. And again, at no cost to either the county or the state.
The question I have, this is going to be planned sort of like 211 is planned for the counties. If you're familiar with 211, or is this going to be a customer service, customer care type operation, or is it going to be more or less like an NG or next generation type of service to where it's done on a regional basis? But what's the purpose? The reason why I said it because I think it's a very good idea, and I know that they do work. But I'm trying to see if it's going to be a call center type, to where they're taking customer service type calls, or are they taking actual response type calls?
I'm not familiar with the 211 system.
What
You know,
about
what these
the
guys will do,
311
they
that the
will.
city's got? What about the 311 that the city's got?
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I guess I'm phone illiterate here, or that type of system over there. But you know what this will, a client will call in, and if they have a change, that person who answers the call will make a change to the case immediately. It is a customer service type of.
Okay.
And we are starting initially with Hinds County. And if, you know, if it works really well for us, we do plan to expand. And, you know, our main goal is trying to cut down traffic in the county office. You know, of course, if the client wants to come in, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
So it's not one of these computer systems that actually walks a customer through various steps.
And now there will be a menu, but it's more like press 1 for this, press 2 for that. But they will get a live person, and if they need a case change, the case change will be done by that person. You know, this isn't a messaging service where, you know, you take a message and, you know, send it to the eligibility worker. These employees will actually work the case.
So it won't be an automated attendant, it'll be just a plain person on the phone.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay, let's play the board. It's been moved.
Second.
After second discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President, there's no emergency purchases. And beginning instruction, this as listed, no action required. And I believe it's for administration. Okay, Mr. Turner.
Mr. President, I only have one item for consideration on the agenda, and it's for executive session. I only have one item on the agenda, and that's for executive session, which can be handled as a
Mr. President, board members. First item I have is a notice of intent to apply for a $10 million transportation investment generating economic recovery grant for the Barrington Corridor. $2 million match will be funded by the 2008 bond funds.
So
Second.
It's been moved proper second, discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
I would just like to commend Mr. Freeland for seeking and looking for additional dollars from external sources in order to help us develop the corridor. So you're to be commended. I don't know how you find all of these various grants that are out there, but you do, and I commend you for it.
You have to have, yep. Like I said.
I guarantee you.
So you the one that found the Jordan.
If Supervisor Smith found it, he would be presenting the item. You would not.
When I get it, what do I do?
When you get grants, you send it to me, and we can use it. I'll have to give him credit for the Rural Safety Innovation Program that we did do. That was credit. He found that and sent it to me, and we processed it. I need to get clarification on the Brian Clinton Corridor Value Engineering Project. In a previous board meeting, we said we were going to pay that from Brian Clinton Corridor Fund. However, the clerk's office needs clarification in order to pay that. Is it going to be paid from the 2008 bond and be reimbursed from federal and state Brian Clinton Corridor funds?
That's what we did.
No, they stated in the previous meeting that the Byron Clinton Corridor Value Engineering Project will be paid from Byron Clinton Corridor funds. Chancellor Clerk's office called me and said specifically, how is that going to be paid? Is that going to be paid from the 2008 bond funds and being reimbursed from federal and state Byron Clinton Corridor funds?
Yes.
2007.
One of those years, so whatever is good.
Well, the 2007.
2007, really? I guess.
No.
Yeah, 2007.
7.
Right.
Okay.
I was thinking all of those funds have been. Okay.
2005, I think.
That's it. I'm sorry, 2005. Okay.
And that's the same question for the Byron Clinton Corridor cost price analysis, planning and design. That's completed. Is that going to go through the same process?
Yes.
Is that okay, AG? Okay. Because that payment's going to come up soon.
Okay, yeah, right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Item number 2, accept petition to abandon Hope Lane, set public hearing for August 15, 2011, and authorize advertisement in the Clarion Ledger. As the board received, we had a request for that, well, a petition for that request, and it's up to how the board wants to handle it.
What's the pleasure? So, it's been moved that we would, how should that be?
Accept the petition. Me and Chris will work this out, and it's basically to accept the petition to abandon Hope Lane, set the public hearing for August 15, 2011, and authorize advertisement in the Clarion Ledger.
Okay.
Why are you abandoning the lane, Hope Lane?
We had a request from a resident on that particular road. She has some problems with some burglaries that's happened. It's a dead-end road.
Is she the only residents on that road?
I think it's her and possibly 2 others. And through the process, we will notify the other residents so they can be at the public hearing if they choose so.
What district is it in?
5.
That's both down in my district. You have that, Ms. Clerk?
Yeah.
It's been moved, I'll second it, it's been moved, proper second. Discussion. And y'all go do the wording on that. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion is carried.
Next, I had a request from Springwood Acres Neighborhood Association for a neighborhood cleanup September 24th. This will consist of 2 dump trucks and overtime for 2 employees.
Okay, so moved. Do I have a second? Moved by second discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
And I have 2 other items. for $186,000 Delta Regional Authority grant to implement Hinds County Road Traffic Sign Maintenance Program. The $37,200 match will be funded by the Severance Tax Fund.
Okay, let's play for.
So,
It's been moved, properly second. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
Next item have notice number 10 to apply for $160,000 Delta Regional Authority grant to implement Hinds County Emergency Road and Bridge Geographical Information System. The $32,000 match will be funded by the 2007 bond fund.
Okay, let's play for.
So,
It's been moved.
second.
Properly second. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
Thank you, sir. Okay. I have one more item I left out. Request approval for the supplemental agreement number 2 for the Cyber Road project.
So, I'm sorry, what is that?
Request approval for the supplemental agreement number 2 for the Cyber Road project.
Okay, let's play for. It's been moved.
Second.
Properly second. Discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Okay.
Mr. President, if I may have your permission, I would like to take care of one of the items that I have on the agenda, and that's for the fee adjustment request for the Highway 80 landscaping project. And here this morning to make that request and explain why the request is being made is Mr. McDaniel.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning.
Good morning.
Our request for changing this is not to change the total contract amount that we have right now. This contract is run about 7 months overtime, and we're asking to increase 2 line items that we had. One was for printing, another one was for mileage reimbursement. And all we're asking to do is just to increase those amounts by about $800 total and take that out of what was originally scheduled for professional fees. Right now, our contract is probably at $70,000 out of our $95,000 maximum. Therefore, we don't see any problems with this because we're about this close to getting the contract closed out. And it was just suggested that before we go billing more for mileage or for printing than was originally set up in the contract, we should ask the board for an amendment to do that, just to change those numbers around. But I do reiterate that the total contract amount is not changing.
That does not exceed, what it is, exceed the other proposals, you have a certain amount that you can't exceed, depending on, and I'm sure that probably does not exceed that.
There was a $100,000 limit, Supervisor Smith.
$100,000?
Yes, sir. That if it went over that, then it was, MDOT had some additional requirements in order that we would have been selected, and we have stayed well underneath that.
Okay. All right.
Mr. President.
Let me ask one other question, Ms. Calhoun. Well, deserving project. One of the other things that MDOT required, supposedly, a manager and project manager and whatever that's supposed to sign off on this. Have that been done? MDOT required, that's a requirement and I hadn't thought about that. I hope.
I have been basically following up and communicating with Mr. McDade. I'm not aware that the employees that were delegated to handle that responsibility have been
Okay. Let's play.
Mr. President, I move that we grant the fee adjustments request for the Highway 80 landscaping project.
Second.
It's been moved, properly second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Councilwoman. Good job out there.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Okay. Are we down to
Good morning. We have 4 items on our agenda for your approval this morning. First, we have the approval to advertise a legal notice of publication of final settlement on the contract for project number LSDP 2530 on Stubbs Road.
okay. Let's play the board.
So
It's removed. Second. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
Okay, next we have orders canceling tax sales, authorizing refunds, reassessment changes to the assessment roll, and surrender tax for the month of June.
Let's play the board.
So
It's moved. Proper second. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
We have an order approving the addition and deletion of supplemental rolls for the homestead exemptions for the year 2010.
So
Removed. Second. Proper second. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried.
Okay, next we have the objections to the motor vehicle assessment schedule. And at this time, I would like to ask anyone in the audience if they have any objections to the motor vehicle schedule that's been submitted. At this time, we didn't have anyone that had any objections, so we're going to close that at this time. And those are all the things I have on my agenda. And we have many insertions for your that do not need your approval.
Okay. Where is Stubbs Road in District 5? And I'll compare it. Oh, by the way, this yellow white while we testify, Mr. Williams. Yes, sir. One of the things that I do also with you, I think I've sent you a many applications for grants. Yes, sir. On almost a weekly basis. Yes, sir. I do that all the time.
Mr. Williams, I'd like to see you come in, bring it to the board.
You bring them to the board. I mean, all I want is.
Well, maybe we need to hire you as the, instead of being elected you as supervisor, District 5, we need to hire you as the grants writer.
I can't write the grant. I get them, and I give them to people that can write them. Okay, now we will, are we ready, Mr. Attorney?
We'll go ahead and.
I'm going to send an attorney to represent the county that case are not here, and Ms. Price is going out to give them a call. So if there's any other issues that can be taken up.
Ms. Gibbs, didn't you have another issue?
Yes, and surprisingly, we're finishing up this meeting very rapidly, and I had requested my guests to be here around 10 o'clock, because rather than have them sit through our meeting.
Well, we can do it when they come back. When they come back.
Right, but I wanted to make sure, that's what my comment is going to be, make sure that they don't leave thinking we have adjourned the meeting, but they will be.
Okay, well, what we can do is have somebody to be assured that, that they notify us that we are in the executive session, and, we'll come back.
Sure.
Want to do?
Yes, it will be Ms. Tamika Wilson. Probably she will bring with her several of the Hinds Community College students.
Well, anyway,
I don't mind attorneys for the county come, they can join us at the time there. But I too requested that they arrive at 10, typically. It takes a little bit longer.
This is kind of rare, isn't it?
It is. I don't know if it's because of this is election season, but I like our meetings have been rather short.
I'm glad that I got it. Okay, now what we can do is, we can just recess until 10. Well, goodness, it's almost that now.
Can you just still go ahead and go through preliminaries and do the motion, and then just when everybody gets here, we go into executive session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How did you?
Go ahead and go through the process, and then just break, and then we go into executive session when they get here.
Oh, okay. Well, we need a motion to consider going into executive session.
So-
I'll make that motion. Okay.
So,
It's been moved. Do we have a second? It's been moved, proper second, that we consider going into executive session. All in favor say aye.
aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Now, I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for the purpose of
Discussion of Cheney versus Hinds County, which is a purpose authorized under section 254174B of the Mississippi Code as amended, which permits executive sessions for strategy sessions or negotiations with respect to litigation or issuance of an appealable order of meeting having detrimental effect on the litigated position of the public body.
I need a second.
Second.
Been moved, proper second. We go into the executive session for those purposes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.